recipes all being kept in there, and it's pristine. There's not a fingerprint on this thing anywhere, and I'm just like, just give me all of them. Now, just throw it near some fire for a second, and I'll eat it. It's starving. So then they seat us. They got this two-waiter system when they seat us. Right, one person's coming in, and we're not even sitting for a second, and our glasses are being filled, and what drinks do you want? Then they come and ask about salads. What salads do you want? Not can we take your order? They just immediately went to only salads. So we're like, well, this is interesting. And I'm a student of this sort of customer service thing, so this stuck in my head forever. I've yet to have anyone top this experience. This is probably 8 years ago. And I've been to plenty of restaurants in the meantime. No one's topped this experience. And so, my favorite line at a restaurant is, well, what would you recommend? What's amazing? Surprise me, right? That's what I'm always looking for. I want to be surprised. That's the nature of my question. And so he's like, well, our spinach salad made tableside is to die for. Done. Bring it. Like, what else do I need? So he brings the cart up to the side of the table, and they've got a burner on it where he's got a pan already warming, and then he begins to put the bacon in the pan. Now just be hungry for a minute. And the dude is frying bacon in front of your face. It's like, all I can do but to not body check him and take the bacon. And then every gesture, every motion is exaggerated. As he's saying, putting the lettuce into the bowl and the spinach into the bowl, it's like floating in this amazing arc from one spot to the next. Like, it's just it's art. There's no other way to say it. It was just like, whatever you're doing with that salad right now, just don't stop and give me more salad. He asks me exactly how spicy I want it, and he's adding all of the ingredients as he's making the warm bacon dressing. Like on the spot in front of me. And I swear they've got the HVAC designed so that the smell wafts right onto the table. Who's drooling right now? You're welcome. And so then he finally puts the greens in front of me, and then the bacon dressing drizzle happens. And again, it's this show. Everything's a show. Everything's about the experience. And this is the best bacon dressing salad I've ever had. I've tried to reproduce it 1,000 times. I just can't. When I throw the spinach, it just misses the bowl. How many times do you think that guy's made that spinach salad? Hundreds, thousands maybe. Is there ways to cut corners on making a spinach salad like that? Yep. Did he cut corners? Not that I experienced. How many times do you make a spinach salad every day? 3, 5, 10, depending on the season, right? Every customer visit is your opportunity to produce that spinach salad. So this is about delivering that kind of 5-star experience. This is about recognizing my state at 6 o'clock at night when I'm running a call. And saying, now who am I going to be? And this is choice. I can't make you do this. No one can make you do this. Only you can. Who am I going to be? Who am I going to show up as? What you can't control is the price, right? So when you start providing this the next day, you're gonna hear about it. You're gonna get the pricing costs. Customers are not gonna be happy. So my challenge to you is deliver that 5-star experience every time. What's it gonna take for you to do that? How will you find it within yourself to deliver that 5-star experience every time you walk into a customer's house? Starting today, starting tomorrow, starting Monday, starting with every customer you see. Let that fold your minds. And flip to page 21, please. So you're about to walk up to a customer's home, and you're approaching a customer who's never done business with your company before. They've had other experiences. What are the concerns inside their mind as you're approaching that customer's home? Price was in my house? How long?
What the repairs are going to
Is he a criminal?
Am I going to get good service?
Am I going to get good service?
He's going to try to sell his house.
You're going to sell me stuff.
He's going to dirty the house.
Is he going to dirty my house? Where does this come from? Why do they think this about us?
Previous experiences.
Previous experiences. Because the $85 an hour guy, he probably lives here too. Because they're going as hard as they can, as fast as they can, to try and get the work done, to try and get paid, to try and make money, try and do it right. There's no margin in their life. And I feel terrible for them, those low-price guys in the marketplace, because they're running their heads off. They're working way harder than we are and making no money at it. I feel terrible for them. I'd love for them to all come here and figure this out. change the nature of that. But when you're charging $85 an hour, you're gonna make this happen. You have no choice but to make this happen. Get in, get out as fast as you can, leave a mess, overcharge, undercharge, whatever it is, it's always overcharged if you're that guy. So this is happening, and your customers are experiencing this, and you're walking into this. Is it your fault? No. I mean, unless you've done something to create this with that customer, then it's your fault. But for the most part, we walk up to every customer and they have some sense of this. True or false? True. And it's not our fault. But it is our responsibility. And this is what I want you to get. Before we just jump in and say, whatever, we're better, they're gonna figure it out. Well, if these questions are floating around in their brain, you can either help them answer them or wait for them and hope that they answer them themselves. I'm always of the opinion that I would rather help them find answers to these questions as quickly as I possibly can. And so this is how we clear, this is what clearing objections is all about. Why are we talking about objections when we haven't even uncovered the repair step yet? When do objections typically happen? Yeah, at the end of the call, right? At the end of when we're presenting options, that's when they're like, oh my gosh, it's too much. But here we are, before we even presented, and we're bringing up objections. Because everything we're gonna do going forward, we're gonna raise those objections, we're gonna flush them out, acknowledge them because we know they exist, they never surprise us. We don't get to the end of the call and they say, oh, I'm gonna talk to my spouse, and we're like, dang, that's never happened before. Right? We know they're coming, and yet we wait for the end of the call to deal with them. And that's like waiting to the last play of the Super Bowl to try and win the game. Right? Now, if you're Aaron Rodgers, okay, you got some shot at it. He's got this magic that happens with his long bombs, Hail Marys. But we're not all Aaron Rodgers in that moment, are we? And the clock runs out, and they voice an objection, you're out of time. Right? You ever felt that way? So let's raise these objections earlier in the call, and let's clear them out of the way, because we know they're going to happen. And then slowly but surely, let this air of the balloon until that customer's in a place where they feel comfortable. We're going to leave some air in this balloon so we can keep this in front of us as we go forward. Flip the page, please. Fast forward to the end of your call. All right, not the end of your call, to the end of your present step. You've gone into the customer's home, you've assessed the situation, you know what's going on, you've presented some options to them, 3, 4, 5, however many options you've prepared for your customer. You put the options down in front of the customer, you explain them to them, and then they object. Who's ever been in this spot? All of you, of course. What do they say? Quickly as you can, on page 22, jot down what are the typical objections you're getting in that email. They're not hard, it's like 5 of them, everything's variations of